Hey, this is Michael with United Veterans Worldwide. I've got my son Ryan with me. Ryan, say hi.
Hello.
He's 6 years old. Today we're going to be looking at this tree right here. When we talk about a Mediterranean diet, which we'll learn about more today when I interview Lisa Price, our nutritionist, we'll be looking at fruits that are in season. So look at the abundance of cherries that are available on this tree. I don't know if you can see them all, but we're going to be picking a lot of these today, and I'll be climbing up the tree and dropping down a bunch to Ryan so he can catch them in the bags, and then we'll later on today make some kombucha and flavor it with cherry, and we'll go to that point. All right, guys, we'll be back in a minute.
Dad, look what I got.
What'd you get?
Look.
Oh, nice, dude.
Cherry.
There are so many cherries here. It's amazing. When you have fruit that's nearby, take advantage of it. Provides such nutrients. I like doing this more than I like getting it at the store. Even if I get some spiders and some worms mixed in it, I can manage. So if you happen to live in an inner city, a big city where the countryside is not super accessible, as part of your wellness journey, take a trip out into the country. Find someone that'll let you pick fruit and get out there and grab some good food so you can take it home and continue your wellness with your nutrition. It's very rewarding, especially if you do activities with your kids, with your family members. It's a form of bonding, getting outside of yourself, out of your own head. So I encourage that effort as well in this journey.
There's also a lot of cherries here. You could find so much maximum. It's like the grapes.
Is it? Because my neighbors have welcomed me to come pick some of the fruit, I'm going to make them some cherry flavored kombucha today, and I'll be able to deliver it in a couple of days after it's fermented a little bit.
Daddy. Ow.
Every time I grab, I get a handful of yummy cherries.
And I'm getting it too.
I'm not really worried if they're squished, because I'm going to be smashing them down in order to provide some flavoring for my fermented juice. Michael with United Veterans Worldwide. I'm going to first wash all the cherries with my son Ryan that we just picked from a neighbor. And it's very therapeutic to pick fruit that's ready to eat, especially to have people who are so generous to provide their trees for me to do that with. They don't want to waste it. The season's getting late. The fruit's ready. So I'll start to film and we'll wash the cherries. Then we have a system to pull the pits out. You put the cherry in, you push this lever down here, and it de-pits them.
Daddy, it puts a hole in the middle and it gets the pit out.
Good. Excuse me. All right, we'll start. Get a bunch of these cherries. Okay. Stop there.
Pull out all the...
Yep, so we're going to put the stems right in the chicken bucket.
Oh.
Here, just hand it to me next time. We'll get this. All right, let's start washing.
Wash.
So because the cherries are all ready and they're really squishy, what we'll do is we'll try to not break them up yet so we can get the pit out easy. We want to wash them really, really well. There's always a risk when you pick fruit to have insects burrowing into the fruit. So I would just say it's expected. Don't freak out. Let the process happen, and you may end up eating a couple of little worms or something else that's gotten into the process. All right, so here's how it works. I'll put a couple of cherries in here. And we'll watch how the process goes. I'm gonna try to get that in the camera. All right, so you just drop it in here.
Yep.
Squish. Did it drop a cherry?
Yeah.
All right, so start. So that got stuck. Did it get the cherry out or the pit out?
Yeah, it did.
Okay. Let's try another. Ooh, the pit came through on this one.
Yeah, I know. That's what I always said.
Without cutting my finger off. Oh, that is amazing.
I know what he's doing.
Yeah. That is so simple. All right, some pits are getting through. So let's see if we can drop them back down. Did it get the pit out?
Yep.
You tell me if they're dropping. If they're not dropping, we need to do something.
They're dropping.
They are?
They're dropping.
Okay.
Push it more.
So what's the value of doing your own fruit? I could go to the store and get pitless cherries already available. I'd pay a little bit more, but this experience is rewarding. For one, it keeps you active. It makes you feel a bigger part of what you're doing is good. You know there are no additional preservatives put on these, which is why we will probably still get... Oh, one of the pits made it through. And here too. We'll double check before we put it into the blender. All right, Ryan, you go. You get them.
Okay.
All right, let's dump these into this bowl. If you've ever de-pitted a fruit by hand, you know that it is not an easy process. That's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. You gotta let them come out. Good. Make sure it comes out. No, two got through. Was it de-pitted? Nope.
This one wasn't.
Because we don't want to blend up a pit.
Voila. Okay, let's fill this.
All right, let's fill it back up. Okay, keep them, let's just keep them one level. So don't do 2 levels. Like, keep them so they're on the ground. Wow, we are messy. But it's working. But it's working. We'll continue the same process. Deep pitting of cherries. So what I did is I picked about 2 bags worth of cherries and then deep pitted them all using this little processor. I'll find this and put it into the comments below so that you can access it on probably Amazon. And if you're interested in buying one of these for yourself, great tool. Anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. I'll come back on and I'll start showing you how I'm going to process this into some kombucha flavoring. Thanks. Okay, so what I've done is I've put a bunch of cherries that have been deep pitted into the blender. I'm going to blend this up until it becomes very smooth, mushy, and I'm going to hopefully try to strain out most of the juice and the pulp before I add it to the kombucha. Part of the liquid I'm going to use to blend up the cherries will come from my kombucha. So I will pour off some of the fermented liquid. That'll be about 2 cups, maybe 1.5 cups of kombucha liquid. And this is something that's already been fermented. So I'll blend it up and be back. Go. All right, turn it off. Okay, doing the final steps. This had already been fermented for 3 weeks. Each of these had a SCOBY in them. This brain-looking substance in here, which is the bacteria, the healthy bacteria for our guts. So what I've done is I've taken this off its heating pad for 3 weeks, taken the SCOBY out, put it into what we call a SCOBY hotel. And it's very heavy, but here it is. And that's what's used to make new kombucha. So what I'm doing now is flavoring. This flavoring step that I do is about 3 or 4 days in a jar like this with lid tight. So in an anaerobic environment, no oxygen being fed. When that happens, it produces a carbonation effect with the flavoring. And so it almost tastes like a soda. So what I've done is I've replaced sodas with my kombucha because I know it's better for my gut health. And I flavored this with those cherries for today. So it will be ready to drink and consume in about 4 days. It's usually best though 2 weeks after I've made it. If it's in the fridge, it continues to carbonate and it is so delightful. Anyway, that's the steps for kombucha today. And then I'll make some more kombucha from the start before it gets to this step in the future and kind of demonstrate that.